In the 90s, when Sowore was protesting as student youth activist, and Mr. Bayo Onanuga with his paper was supporting Sowore there because the protests, they were all together. Sowore was not an anarchist then. When they were all together. Didn't Sowore come out recently to say that even Mr. Bayo Onanuga played a fundamental role by supporting the career anarchist? So when they were protesting against June 12th, that Mr. Bayo Onanuga was part of against the military, Sowore was not a career anarchist then because the protest supported them. The lack of Mr. Bayo Onanuga giving Sowore coverage in his paper then, he was not a career anarchist then. Right. But I'm calling for fairness. A court of appeal, I said, leave this man. Even the Supreme Court, judgment to overturn all of this. There was one dissenting judge. Igbo leaders went to President Buhari, asked for political solution. And we are hearing dragging of this case, dilly-dallying, here and there. And people come out to protest because it's a national matter. And we are casting aspersions on them. This is the same Mr. Bayo Onanuga that we used to read all this. I used to press the neck of the mobile on any small thing, bumper to bumper with the news.
Yes.
But what's changed? That's what we ask.
Let's begin what's trending by focusing on reactions to the hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu protest in Abuja and the southeast states led by activist Omoyele Sowore. The protest brought activities to a near standstill on Monday, October 20th, despite a court order and police warnings. Security operatives fired tear gas and gunshots to disperse protesters in Abuja who were demanding the release of the detained leader of the indigenous peoples of Biafra. In Abuja, the protest began near Transcorp Hilton with protesters chanting, "Free Nnamdi Kanu now."
What do we want? Free Nnamdi Kanu! What do we want? Free Nnamdi Kanu! Free Nnamdi Kanu!
We are here addressing the press, exercising our rights to freedom of expression, and you can see what the police, what they are doing, the way they are intimidating us as citizens of this country.
Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Don't take us off! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Don't take us off! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Let's go to beggar. Nobody, even a Bayo, cannot stop me. I would rather die than to fold my hand and keep silent. We are in democracy. We are not in military government. Even during the military government, comrades like Sowore protested. We are in democracy, so I have every right to protest. Look at it. I'm a proudly Nigerian. The same police that I, James Mike, aka Flagboy, aka You Talk You Die, I've been protesting for them to pay them good salary. I stood at the National Assembly for days protesting for Nigerian police. All they could do is to come out and tear-gas me.
If you can please drop dinner, consider more than
May their souls continue to pursue their oppressors. Amen. Amen.
This was quite intense yesterday in Abuja. Meanwhile, President Tinubu's special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, criticized one of Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers for participating in the Free Nnamdi Kanu protest, raising concerns about professional ethics and the principle of sub judice. Onanuga, in a post on X, expressed disappointment over the lawyer's decision to join what he described as a shambolic protest, stating, and I'll pull up Bayo Onanuga's post on X there. He wrote, "I spotted Aloy Ejimako, one of Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, among the small group of protesters mobilized in Abuja by Omoyele Sowore. I wonder what Mr. Ejimako was thinking when he decided to join this shambolic protest. As a lawyer, he should be aware of the principle of sub judice, particularly in relation to the ongoing treason case before the court, rather than focusing on preparing a strong case. Mr. Ejimako has resorted to extra legal tactics, joining a career anarchist. He describes Sowore as an anarchist. To influence the process, legal authorities should consider appropriate sanctions for unethical conduct of the bearded lawyer. And of course, you're laughing at Rufai. Rufai, you're laughing. You're laughing. I'll give you the opportunity. Yes, he called him an anarchist. Well, in response to Onanuga's comments, Sowore stated that there is no law against a lawyer joining a peaceful protest, and that even Nnamdi Kanu is not released, even senior advocates of Nigeria will join the protest. Let's take a look.
The lawyer is a person, and the same right are due to him.
If they don't release Nnamdi Kanu, yes, senior advocates of Nigeria will join us.
Yes.
APC, police, doctors will join this protest.
Yes.
Even surgeons, like people who say no get time, nurses, everybody will join.
We'll join.
We're about to announce another date, and that one will be bigger. It will be the mother of all protests.
Exactly.
So they have a chance now. You know, when we were saying it, they thought it was a play. They thought it was play a few days ago when we say we are going to shut down this Abuja. Nothing happened in Abuja today. Even the judge that gave the order that we should not do protest, asked us to come back to their head, he did not sit. He couldn't make it to his office. So we are not playing. We are not playing, but we are working to get our protesters, the legally arrested protesters.
All right. He's claiming there's going to be another protest that he describes the mother of all protests, and he has yet to announce the date. But Sowore was on our nightly news program, Primetime, where he confirmed that Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Ejimako, and his brother were arrested. Rufai, I know that you want to speak on this, so I'll give you the floor. I mean, the lawyer has been arrested at this moment. Sowore is saying that the prison or the police station or where the lawyer is being kept is like a dungeon. That's what he said on Primetime yesterday.
Very sad. Please, they should be let free. I mean, because they protested. I mean, once you arrest them, you take their findings and everything. Please just let them free. Second, the one I want to laugh about is what name did Mr. Bayo Onanuga called
Sowore?
No, there's another. Is there something anarchist?
He said he's called him an anarchist.
No, I want the exact name because I want to laugh very well.
Is it persistent anarchist?
Was it persistent? Is it persistent anarchist? I want the exact word because that word is really intriguing to me. You know what? I want the exact word.
Tell me.
In the 90s, when Sowore was protesting and Mr. Bayo Onanuga with his paper was supporting Sowore there because the protests, they were all together. Sowore was not an anarchist then. No. When they were all together. Didn't Sowore come out recently to say that even Mr. Bayo Onanuga played a fundamental role by supporting the career anarchy? So when they were protesting against June 12th, that Mr. Bayo Onanuga was part of against the military, Sowore was not a career anarchist then because the protest supported them. The likes of Mr. Bayo Onanuga giving Sowore coverage in his paper then, he was not a career anarchist then. So it is today now that Mr. Bayo Onanuga now remembers because he's in a government that they are presenting as opposing what Sowore is today he remembers. This Nigeria will bust your mind, please. You know sometimes they say, if you live long enough in this country, you will see rubbish. You see, the truth has to be said. When interest does not align, these are the things. These are people I respect so much. Mr. Bayo Onanuga. You know why I respect this man? He had so much fundamentals then. He was told to come and apologize for something, about his story or something. He said never.
You mean Bayo Onanuga?
Yes, back in the 90s.
No,
I'm talking. No, it's not now. I'm saying history.
Okay.
Back in the 90s. That's why they left Concord. And they went to set up the news then. Him and the great Babafemi Ojo were told to come and apologize. I said, no, we're not going to put in a word. They stood for their conviction. I will still always remember and respect Mr. Bayo Onanuga for that. Because they were those that were in the midst of struggle in this country. But today, like I asked, what changed? It's the same better Nigeria these guys are protesting for that you, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, protested for them. Now you are slamming the lawyer. When them Ganifa were me and then Femi Falana were protesting them, marching for June 12th, you didn't remember to report them to the NBA then because you are on the same side. Now that it has changed now, you see the lawyers, Ejimako and the likes, are sub judice. Oh, let's go into the itinerary of sub judice. You know how many matters that are sub judice that people prognosing? All we are calling for is sanity in this process. I have not said everything Nnamdi Kanu did was right, but I'm calling for fairness. A court of appeal has said, leave this man. Even the Supreme Court judgment to overturn all of this. There was one dissenting judge, Igbo leaders went to President Buhari, asked for political solution. And we are hearing dragging of this case, dilly-dallying here and there. And people come out to protest because it's a national matter. And we are casting aspersions on them. This is the same Mr. Bayo Onanuga that we used to read all this. I used to press the neck of them Obasanjo. There any small thing, bumper to bumper with the news.
Yes.
But what's changed? That's what we ask.
All right. I mean,
so if you live long enough in this country, you will see a lot too.
Speaking about the protests, we also saw pockets of Protests in southeast states, however, major streets in Enugu were deserted on Monday as many residents opted to stay off the streets in solidarity with the ongoing demonstrations. Government offices were open, but activities were minimal, while commercial banks, schools, shops and malls remained closed with no movement of commercial vehicles. The protests, coincidence with the 5th anniversary of NSAS demonstrations, added symbolic weight to the day, highlighting ongoing tensions around detention, justice and citizens' rights to peaceful assembly in Lagos. The executive director of Enough is Enough Nigeria, Yemi Adamalekun, was stopped and assaulted by security officers while attempting to lay flowers in honor of the victims of the 2020 NSAS protests. The incident has sparked widespread condemnation on social media. The video shared by News Central TV showed Adamalekun being confronted by security personnel who prevented her from performing the symbolic act at the memorial site. Let's take a look. Unacceptable. The Lekki toll gate has become a symbol site for remembrance of the NSAS victims, where Nigerians annually commemorate those who reportedly lost their lives during the October 2020 protests. This incident raises questions about the right to peaceful remembrance and freedom of expression in public spaces. I'll take some reactions on X. This person actually posted on Instagram, stating, "It's painful to watch this. She only came to pay respect. Yet, she was treated like an enemy. When will we learn that power should serve the people, not crush them? They fear remembrance because truth exposes guilt. No one should be assaulted for honoring the victims." Well, Deji Adeyoju also condemned this. He wrote on X, "I condemn the harassment of notable human rights activist Yemi Adamalekun of Enough is Enough Nigeria by the ever senseless security agents who have no respect or regard for human rights in Nigeria." And that's the actual point. Who authorized this move, actually? Because I will really doubt that this was an order that you should have no one in that area. I mean, I don't know if you have gotten any response from the Lagos state government as to why this happened to Yemi. She was just going to lay flowers.
Yes. I actually called earlier on that we need a statement and a response from the Commissioner of Police, because she mentioned, as Yemi Adamalekun mentioned, that he drove past the toll gate with a convoy of about 15 vehicles yesterday. And she saw that the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, Commissioner of Police Olohundare, that's Jim Olohundare. And so we need to understand whether if this is the protocol as order given to the police to contain or to maintain peace and order in the state. But before I come fully to Yemi Adamalekun's story, OJ, let me just say two statements on Nnamdi Kanu's one. Number one is that the government is actually succeeding in making him a hero. And a number of people have said that they might not necessarily agree with all that he stands for, but by denying him access to justice, they are actually making him a hero. And a lot of people who stand against unfairness and injustice are coming out to speak against it. The second is that Nigeria has lost too much as a result of his consistent incarceration and the lack of respect of this government of the rule of law. I say this because we have lost so much money with the sit-at-home order every month in the Southeast, which could have been averted, because the same treatment given to bandits and terrorists in the north who actually committed crimes, who actually killed people, whereby they granted them amnesty and they are negotiating with them, and someone who is allegedly a terrorist is starkly different. And this is the selective justice that Nigerians are crying out for. What I want to just say as a sound of warning is that let us not let this thing get out of hand. We've seen the day of protest. It means that the people are not backing down. There's only as much as you can push people back against the wall, but let the government do right and obey court orders with regards to Nnamdi Kanu. This cry has gone on for too long. Now let's move on to what happened yesterday at the toll gate. it. I said earlier, you know, when we're speaking privately, about the fact that I believe that the police is actually misunderstanding their role in society in terms of protecting lives and property, because it feels as if their brief is to protect the lives and property of a few, or the government, as it were. So it's now the police and the government against the people, whereas the duties are set out in the Constitution means protection of lives and property of Nigerians. But what we see is that there's this antagonism against the people of Nigeria, especially when there's peaceful protests. What could one woman have done that about 3 or 4 man-o-war operatives came to, okay, 2 of them accosted her? Then she said that whilst they were doing this, 4 armed policemen approached her, and then 2 of them were asked to escort her and the lady that was taking the picture off the ground. We can see the video there. And the highlight of this is that what one of them said to her, a female policewoman who was there, according to what she said, is that they said, "Are you not enjoying the peace as you have it now?" And then you ask the question, what kind of peace are we talking about?
Peace of the graveyard.
Peace of the graveyard, where peace means that the people are silenced and we are like robots, according to what the government says, and you deprive the people of their constitutional guaranteed rights to peaceful protest. Is that the peace that Nigeria or this administration wants, where the people's voices are silenced? That's not the peace that we're looking for. And so when they keep saying, oh, let's keep peaceful, what is the definition of peace? She had a right to go there, to lay with. She was not even protesting peacefully, because she said a number of people that were called to come out to protest were afraid. This is what we have done to the Nigerian youths. We have caused them to be afraid, to stay back, and gradually silencing their voices. Is this the legacy of this administration? This Democrat that has been praised for his play and his role in the democracy that we enjoy today, now depriving young people today of the same rights that he enjoyed. And I'm talking about the Tinubu administration now. So I just want to say that, number one, the police has to rethink its strategy in how it manages its affairs with civilians, civilians as well, how it manages its affairs, and the right to peaceful protest. Then this thing around, once you see people gather, they are jittery. Why? Yeah. As long as they are not violent, no need to use tear gas, no need to fire bullets, even though the police spokesman came out to say that, oh, they didn't fire, but we heard the gunshots. Yeah. And so what we are asking for is that let the police do right. We've asked for police reform, let there be an actual reform, and let the people feel protected by the police, and not as if the police is taking sides with the government against the Nigerian people.
Well said, Ayo. Well said.
Hello, fellow citizens of Nigeria. My name remains Just Adeton. Just like yesterday, October 20th, 2020, history was made. Our government showed us how greedy and incompetent they are. They showed us how they feared change. They showed us their cowardness. They could not listen to us. They could not change things. But all they did was they released army and told them to silence our souls and our spirits and our bodies. You know, Governor Babajide Sowore, I've tried as much as possible to forgive you, because one way or the other, you have been competent in the areas of social welfare and children and health facilities. But let me tell you today, even after government, posterity will judge you for failing to be the hero of democracy. Anyway, I don't blame you. You are just a small boy listening to instructions. Now, 5 years down the line, today, another history is about to be made. People are on the protest ground. People are outside demanding for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. It is not about the person. It is about the fact that why would our government continue to want us to be on the streets before we are heard? Few days ago, they brought out a list and said that they had released some people on compassionate ground, on clemency. They did that within the 4 corners of their offices. I'm sure it wasn't free, because there is no way you can tell me that releasing drug barons is free. Something must have happened. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with all humility and dignity and as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, if you cannot meet the demands of these people on the street, bow your head in shame. You own Lagos, nobody's never going to argue it with you. But you see this place called Federal, Nigeria, it belongs to every one of us, and we have a right. The only way the government can make things right is to understand that you have killed the spirit of innocent citizens, and you have detached emotions away from Nigerians. People always tell me Nigeria is not worth fighting for. It is not Nigerians, it is Nigeria. There are 2 different things. Nigerians are different from Nigeria. If Nigerians are not worth fighting for, it is because you destroyed everything called Nigeria in them. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, rule this country in fairness. Rule this country with your conscience, and understand that you being the president of this country is an assignment for you to fix a lot of things. Fix the errors, fix the mistakes, And don't think that this is a country that you can own inside your pockets. It is not possible. If the demands of those people are not met, then this government is already a failure. Because there is no reason why there should be a disconnect between citizens and its own country. And this is what this government is doing now. I weep for you all. I weep for how you sold your conscience. I weep for the quest of power in the spirit of greed. Are you people not ashamed of yourselves? Are you people not ashamed that you will come on social media and say that citizens are abusing you and they are insulting you? You can hear the insult, but you cannot feel their pains. What more do we call this government than call it a government of shame and incompetence? A government that people have to come on the street to demand for what they think is equity, equitable distribution of justice and compassion. Nigeria must be great. There is no shall in our statements. Nigeria must be great. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if you cannot make Nigeria great, then shame and woe betide unto people like you who call yourself leaders, but you don't know what it means to feel the pain of a common man. Whatever justice Nnamdi Kanu has done is not about the issue. It's about the fact that there are people in the face of the law that have done worse things. Now, I said it the other day, I said scrap NDLEA. Because what is the point if people will be arrested for drugs and at the end of the day, they will be released on some kind of grounds? We have not forgotten NSAS. We might have moved on with our lives, but our pain still lives in us. And if you feel that you are not part of it, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you were part of it, because when you were supposed to speak, you could not speak because of your agenda, your personal ambition to become the president. You could not stand for us in Lagos. You hid yourself under your roof. You could not come out to say a word. Now power is in your hands. What are you supposed to do? Make amends. Say sorry with your actions. Say sorry with your compassion to Nigerians. But you are too big because you feel you have power in your hands. But you have forgotten something. That this is our motherland. Ile mama waniyo. Ile baba waniyo. Ile oyi ile wara. Nigeria is our own. Nigeria is our own. And if our leaders cannot fix it, and our youth have become nothing but content creators because they don't believe in this government and they are completely detached in this government. They've broken the chain of poverty with a strong mind of disconnect as Nigerians. Shame unto this government. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, shame unto you if you will not fix this country. Let me tell you all something. I don't fear anything and I don't fear anybody. The only fear that lives in me and will continue to live in me is to fail my motherland called Nigeria. I have sworn by everything called faith in Christ not to fail my country, and so help me God.